How's it going, traders? Let's go through the markets today. We're Bitcoin USD chart today. We're going to start off with the monthly just to give an overall direction as to where we think Bitcoin could be landing in the mid to long term, actually, considering this price action. And we're going to go through a few patterns as well. Starting with, let's do the Fibonacci and look at the bottom to the swing high. We're sitting at a 0.5 fib zone right here between the months of April and May. So this is an interesting area of support that has popped up. So I'm wondering whether there's going to be a consolidation in that area. From bottom swing high, we're going to go over here to the fixed volume profile and see where the volume was in this area. And as you can see, majority of the volume was here until it popped up. So let's change our range here and see when the volume started kicking up at the top. See, there's a lot of volume in this area. It's making me think that there's very heavy orders in this area that potentially may need to get filled still, if you ask me. But anyways, once you filter in the volume in this general area, as you can see, there's a lot of volume being picked up here. Now, that could have been because of this move downwards, but let's put it here to see where the volume is. There's a lot of volume in this area, so eventually it will definitely go back in this area to retest it, depending on how this candle closes. But from the perspective of this swing high to swing low for this volume area, it looks like there is a lot of significance in this range right here on 0.5 fib. So there is a marker here that we're just going to put in just to let us know that there is a nice area right here. Okay, now not only that, obviously there was a support bounce up, so let's get rid of that. And then also let's measure the swing low to swing high of this move, and you'll notice that where we're landing right now, there was a wick that moved downwards that almost hit the 78.6, and then there was also another retest in this area. So you have to imagine what's happening in the market during these times and pretend as if these candles don't exist. What was happening at this time was price moved to this location and moved back up and closed up here. Okay, meaning there's an area of strong support. When the market opened here, it came back and retested the general vicinity of that same area that met support. And then when it bounced up, it closed right here and it shot back up. So then price could be closing the gap in this general vicinity at around $38,000. So it is possible. So instead of making any buys, I wouldn't be doing any buys, especially looking at just the monthly. So let's get rid of this for a second. Let's get rid of all the drawings and then look at another interesting part of Bitcoin is the percentage moves downwards. So let's take this tool right here, date and price range. This particular move downwards started with its high at 65,000 and moved downwards by 56% over 61 days. This current move actually is not even 50%. Okay, so we haven't even moved down at 50%. Let's look at other occasions where that has occurred in the past. Now look at this move down here from January 2018 to 2019. Obviously, there are halvings and other fundamentals that are in play here, but look at just the price action and see what's done. 80%, and just think about the probabilities when you look at this. And here is 72%. So all these move downs actually have been for over 50%. We haven't even met that 40. We haven't even gone to 45% yet. So, there is potential downward play here. So where are areas you can buy? Then you probably have to look at a chart that is a lot less than a month. Okay, so let's get rid of all these drawings here. And let's go through a 4-hour chart to see what price action is looking like. So it looks like it's consolidating down in this area right here and creating a mark right here. Okay, and when that is because of this retrace right here. Now, this is going to be an interesting point. It could be just a fake out sell and then a swing to the upside, but I would definitely never purchase any asset, especially when it's met that price one time. I don't care if it goes down one time and then does a retrace. If it keeps going up and continues, I am not even going to look at that trade anymore. I always look for retests to certain areas and then price action at those areas. So for example, you can avoid fake outs like this when that occurs. See, in this particular scenario, if the market was coming down and it created this long wick like it did, I would not buy here because you're looking at price action to see what it does when it comes back. And most of the time it does come back and retest certain areas. And you can see there's a lot of bouncing back, meaning prices returning to this key level and not breaking through. So it gives you an indication that maybe price might break through. And on top of that, it's giving you lower highs. And only one time did it go over, but it did not break this lower high, which was a formation of the ranging trade. So this did not break, and therefore, if it broken with a convicted candle, meaning a candle that's solid, then retrace back to this area, then I would have bought, but then you would have avoided a negative trade. So that's usually where I buy. So what I think is going to happen here is going to consolidate a little more, probably hit the EMA around here. It won't blow past this yet if it is going to range. I think it's going to range in this particular area from this price to this price right here. That's my guess. If I were to make that, I would say that this right here is where it's going to be trading for maybe a little bit of time before I think if it continues down, it'll be continuing down down to other significant levels such as the 30s. And that could be a good buy zone as well, but depending on price action. So that's what I think about Bitcoin. And now we're going to quickly talk about with XRP. Let's start with the monthly candle, and we'll notice that there are some key levels here. One being here, which is really high up. Let's just put it down at $2.40. And then some of the key items that are happening here, one of which, obviously, you can't just go by price action, meaning fib levels and so on and so forth. Sometimes you got to give it a little bit of some scrutiny. So putting that fib here with a 50% retracement downwards and then going down. But I want you to notice something real quickly regarding the wicks. Okay. Historically, majority of the time when there is a retrace downwards, the first or second or third wicks, they usually get filled. And that is because of the volume profile of that particular month. So this is a monthly. So this in this candle here representing a month indicates that price moved in. And now when it experiences that price, there are more orders that come down that the institutional traders need to fill. And therefore the price always, not always, but most of the time, the price when it comes down and creates a wick, it usually comes back and retests that area. And you can see here that there was a wick formed here. And right now, we're retesting that area. So my overall sentiment that it's going to be going down from here to the 60 cent, minimum down to the 51 cent for now. And on top of that, there's a strong area here of resistance. If you take a look at this area right here, you'll notice that there was a bounce up and then down, up, down. So there's an area here of resistance. So I definitely think there's going to be a strong bounce on an XRP from in this particular range, unless there's a bearish sentiment that arises. Now, in terms of buy areas, what I would look at is, let's get rid of some of these drawings here. And changing this to the daily, let's look at where some of the potential price action is occurring. So first, let's take out our fib tool and notice that we're sitting at a 0.786 extension mark right here. So that's going to be an interesting area to consider when making any trades. And on top of that, on an overall trend basis, you're looking at another significant area right here at the 0.786. I have been noticing that 786, I know it's just mathematics, but I just notice it more. I'm not sure what it is, but the 786 is in this area. Let's look at some of the volume profile. Remember, what we're looking for is confluence. So different price action indicators showing us confluence that is a region that there might be a bounce. Now, when you're looking at a daily and you're trading a bounce, such as this one, you're moving from 78 cents to 90 cents, you know, you're not looking for long-term moves. If you want to look for long-term moves, then honestly, if you overall think you're bullish and we're getting a discount, you'd buy right now. Right? You could, if you're long-term and you think this is going to go up, this is a good time to buy, because if you think it's going to go up, it's going to go up and it's going to meet the previous high, which in this case is, you know, almost $2. So that's what I think is going to happen with XRP, is that it's sitting at 786 fib extension. I think it's going to probably continue down here to the 50 zone, and I have some buy orders ready when it gets to that. And this is not financial advice, of course. Please don't take it as such, folks. So that's it, folks, for today. I'm not going to bore you with any more of this very exciting crypto and market news. But if you guys can, it would be really appreciated if you guys can leave me a big fat thumbs up or a like to support the channel. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.